Well, I think the three of us are a perfect example of the relationships that you develop with other people and working with other people.
You can't know it all, and when you have things going on in your office and say, hey, I'll just pick up the phone and give one of them a call, and they help me and very graciously, but those relationships is trust and so forth is very helpful to all of us.
I am the RVAR. I had been in the Navy for 3 years. I was hired by Ross Perot to go to work for ESD or whatever it was. And my only requirement was that I could go take leave and see my parents for 5 days. And I was there one day, and the phone rang at night, and I was told Mr. Perot wanted to see me. And I said, well, tell him I'm not going to be there. So then I went into the real estate business right after that.
I am the RVAR. I joined in 1974, and so that's 46 years, 47 years, I guess. And of that time, I was a residential realtor for 5 years, and then I specialized in commercial for 42 years. While working on the railroad and riding in a caboose, I started studying for the license law, the license to pass the exam for real estate, thinking that I might be able to do it someday. First, I thought making money was going to really be the big thing. After a while, it turned out the personal satisfaction that I got of putting somebody in the first time home, the smile on their face, that was really got me hooked.
I am the RVAR. During my time at VMI, I was looking for a way to get a weekend, and they had to let you out for job interviews. So one weekend I lined up job interviews from Friday, Saturday, and Sunday to cover the whole week. And the last interview I had on Sunday evening was with a man named Curtis Lemon, who owned a real estate company. I talked with him, and he started recruiting me to come in the business. I wanted a job where I was going to live in a community, become part of the community. I had moved 12, 13 times growing up, gone to 8 schools by the time I was in the 8th grade. I wanted to have a career and build a life in one community.
There have been a billion changes. When I started in the business, there was no MLS.
MLS, it's the greatest thing that ever happened to the real estate industry. I mean, it was wild, wild west way before MLS. You'd list a piece of property, you put the listing on a card, you put it in your back pocket, and nobody else would know about it. You'd have to go out and find a buyer. That itself created an efficient marketplace, which didn't exist before, and I think realtors are responsible for that.
The biggest one was in 1995. We changed the way real estate was sold by having buyer brokerage, seller brokerage, designated brokerage. It was a sea change that was huge. We thought it was going to be horrible for at least 2 or 3 years, and actually within a year it was very well accepted, because I think real estate agents were tired of telling people that they represented them when they didn't. The law was you only represented the seller.
Really, the first year I was in real estate, the big move was to get all the companies to sign the Fair Housing Agreement. Every community in the Roanoke Valley, every community across the country became an integrated community.
I think it's important to get involved. Build those relationships with your competitors. Get involved in community, great networking.
Realize that you're not really selling homes, you're building relationships. The association does so many things. Really, the underlying thing that got you involved, that got us involved, was that there were things that we wanted to do to help our profession and to make it a better profession for the public and for the people that work within the profession.
The association is the rock that holds us in place to do those things, and gets us started in education and teaching the code of ethics. And that's the most important thing probably as a realtor, is that you understand and you abide by the code of ethics, because that's what makes you successful, and that's what makes the public look to you as a successful person.
Here's to the next 100 years.